Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's reads. This week I'm going to use for the tarot part the Astromatrix Tarot, and astromatrix.org on the back here is where you check it out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and it's a Hay House product. So at the bottom there you can see the hayhouse.com if you're interested. Did I show the front of it? I hope I did. And for the dice, as always, I'm using the Dice Shop. Math Art Fun is where I got them. Hopefully you can read that if you want to. I use a 22-sided dice for the Major Arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, with a 4-sided dice choosing the element. Okay, that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. That being said, let's get into your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of this, these readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? I feel like something's trying to get my attention. Is this part of this reading? Yeah. Knight of Swords and the Moon card right off the bat. So, the fact that something's trying to distract me, I feel like it fits right in with this reading. And it's kind of like somebody getting my attention, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I'm curious to why it's getting your attention. I feel like somebody's playing both sides of the fence here. That's interesting connection. Okay, so this is the strongest card. So you got the Queen of Wands in the past. That's a very dynamic, very charismatic, usually, energy. Does things in a minute, changes their mind as fast as they need to. This is an active energy, not really an energy that sits still. But this might be one of those energies that, even though it's successful, you might see it as very wasteful. Because it just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. What works out, what doesn't, doesn't, but they don't sit still, they just keep going. You got the Judgment half in, half out, and you got the Knight of Swords half in, half out. And they're going different directions, I'm noticing. So, they kind of make sense and they kind of don't. They have a lot of success, but also they have a lot of failures. And I feel like when you're looking at it, it's kind of like, that's not how you roll. When you do something, every bit of effort you put into something, you plan to get something out. So just doing something for the sake of doing something, that's not your thing. But this energy sometimes does that, but it's very charismatic and very successful. But I feel like you can also see where they have kind of wasted a lot of effort too. So I don't think you're against it, but it's kind of like, I feel like when you're looking at this energy, if I could see what they're doing and make better sense of it, I feel like I could hone in that success and create more success. If I had their energy, I feel like I could make more successful moves with it. Even though they don't really go the way you go. You're not going to be able to really convince this energy to go your direction, but it's almost like, can I kind of learn from it is a question. There is a block between you and this energy currently. Is that... Six of Cups reversed, and then the Lover's card reversed, and then the Two of Swords. There's some type of they might not even like you. They might not even like you, but I don't know that that's going to hold you back. They don't know you well enough either, is what I'm getting. They don't know really how you work. So, but they might not be very open to you at the same time. I do feel like they might be politically polite. Politically polite. I feel like they play nice, but they quickly move on from you. If they get a chance to disconnect from you, they do it, is what I'm getting. They seem to be blocking the connection. Okay. So, I do feel like that energy is like putting distance between you and them. Is that correct or no? That energy is putting distance between you and them. Okay, let's just see what's going on here. You got some good cards. I'm just wondering how this is like adding up. 7 of Wands reversed. There's nothing to hold together because I feel like this person's walking away. And again, I get the Justice card, which gives me this idea of being politically polite. Like, there's nothing gone wrong between the two of you, but nothing's really bonding you either. And I feel like they're moving on, and I feel like they might even be leaving you hanging. There's not much at the moment, but like something else is going to work for you. I just don't know. I feel like they're leaving you in the background. And again, that glamour with the Emperor, I don't think they have a problem with you. If they did, they would tell you. I'm getting just kind of like, they're kind of like, yeah, I don't have any hang-ups with Capricorn. I'm busy. I got other things going on. Which, I feel like that's true. They don't have any problem with you, but they don't really want to hang out with you either or be close to you. They're not drawn to you. And I feel like they're moving on without you. I don't know that this is a problem at this point, but they seem to be moving on without you. This doesn't have to be the end of this story. Because I'm getting like you catch on fairly quickly that, they've moved on and you're kind of stuck with that. The thing is, you have good endings coming here. And I'm like, this is interesting. Because you don't have to settle for this outcome. And I'm kind of cringing. I'm like, oh, is this going to go a good place? Whatever this is that you are seeing that they make success of, you can make your own success with this influence, maybe without this person, but with this influence. So maybe you don't have to settle for this outcome. You may have to settle that that person doesn't want to be a part of your life, but it doesn't mean you have to settle for no success. You can actually make something else that's inspired by this happen. And you don't have to do it their way. You don't have to do it the quick way or however they go about it and they move things forward. So you don't have to do it that way. I feel like you know that though. But what you can do is start creating it your way on your terms. You just got to have the courage to step forward and decide, you know what? Maybe that person didn't see the value, but I can create this. I can create this the way I want to create this. They don't want to do this with me, that's fine. I've learned some things here, and there's certain things that I can make happen. This person has inspired me. They don't want to be a part of my story, okay. But I can find somebody else who does match me, who I can have more say over how things go, and this can actually work for me. So it's almost like creating what you want on your terms. Not being centered on the person, but the situation you're looking for. This is interesting. Because I'm getting there's a lot of different energies coming in after this. If you decide to move forward on those terms, so whatever this is, it has a lot to do with this person moving on without you. There's something with this person who's moving on without you that you seem to be very attracted to, and you want that to happen, something like that to happen. It's just, you got to take that inspiration, realize that person doesn't want to be a part of your story. Okay, that's fine. That part you have to accept. The part you don't have to accept is that you can't have something like that. Got to rebuild this the way you want it to attract something that fits your energy. Because I get like the Devil and the Chariot coming in. A very interesting dynamic. The Devil talks about Capricorn energy. Boundaries. Restraints. Things have to be where they're supposed to be. If things are not done the way they're supposed to be, there are consequences for that. Also, the Chariot talks about Cancer sometimes. You're the opposite of Cancer. This can be a push-pull. This can be a very dynamic energy. It can be a very difficult energy, but it can be a very prosperous energy. The two of these energies together can become very difficult. It's one of those things that at the beginning it's kind of doable, but as time passes it gets a little worse, a little worse, and a little worse. Be careful about what you're attracting is what they're also saying. Make sure it actually fits you. Don't settle for something that's good enough. Settle for only what you want. Actually, don't settle. Maybe that'd be a better way to say it. Don't settle for anything. Keep going until you get what you actually want, or at least something that doesn't slowly drive you crazy. Because you can rebuild this and you can have what you want. Maybe not the same person, but the situation similar to it. Build it in your own way. What is your outcome here? Because I'm getting, you don't have to accept that this situation won't happen. This person, yeah, you probably have to accept this person's not interested in whatever you want to be a part of. But you can find other people that do match it. And you don't have to be a fool about it. There can be a lot of passion and a lot of dynamic energy coming forward. You got the Queen of Fire coming forward in a different way. You could find somebody who has this fire energy, but like is mixed with something else. Like there's 12 different zodiac signs, obviously. But like your sun sign versus your moon sign and your rising sign and your sign for Mercury, Mars, Venus, all those things. Not every fire sign or earth sign are the same. Like you can have somebody with a Capricorn sun and like a Leo moon, and they're a very dynamic person. They won't be like every other Capricorn. They're their own flavor, you know. Vice versa, you can have a Taurus person who has a Cancer moon. They're a totally different flavor. They're not like everybody else. They move the way they move. They have a very sentimental connection, and they do things the way they need to do them. I'm getting like there's some passion here that you can create for yourself. You just got to rebuild it in a way that works for you. You got to decide what you actually want and start finding it and start seeing like what attracts that energy, what works for this energy. That star card is saying you can move forward and make this happen. You just got to think it out. I'm feeling like there's something here that I just feel like I'm not touching on quite correctly, because I get like this really good outcome with you having this dynamic energy, the sun card coming in for you getting what you want. The sun card and the star card are actually very complementary to each other. I like those together because the sun is technically a star, right? So it's kind of like you can have what you want. It's just like, how do I rebuild this where it literally makes sense for me, that I could have what I'm looking for and it be where I need it to be. There's something about this that I feel like I just haven't touched, and I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss it before we end this reading. Is there something I'm missing from this? The World coming in and the Page of Fire. Your life can go into a whole new chapter with this situation. If this is hitting, which I feel like it's a very odd reading, I really do, because it's starting off where there's something you want, somebody or something, and it rejects you, is basically the bottom line. And it's kind of like, all right, this person, you have to accept that rejection from them, but that doesn't mean you can't have this situation. It's kind of like I have to step back, take it apart, and realize, all right, what has to be different for this to actually fit me? And where do I need to go? Where do I need to be to have a better chance of attracting what I'm actually looking for? So it's kind of like if you're looking for somebody who's really good at business and really successful at business, where do people who are really good at business and really successful at business, where do they go? Where do they hang out? And it's not just like social hangouts. Like, do you find them taking certain courses? Do you find them like researching this? Do you find them like, doing more personal improvement things? Like, or is there like, you find them at art clubs or museums? Like, stuff like that. So that's a good point too. It doesn't have to be like a business thing. If you're looking for people who are very into fitness, for example, just to make it simple, where do those people go? If you're looking for people who are into, growing plants or like doing stuff like that, like whatever this is, they're like asking yourself, where do these people go? Where do these people congregate? What do I need to fit into to get more of a connection, more of an exposure to this, so I can create it not only in my own life, but in the way that I need it, that it will fit what I want. For some of you, I do see that this is fitting in the sense of romance and love, that there's somebody that you want, that they're just kind of like, no, which is fine. And again, this, you have to accept that they don't want to be a part of your story. That's fine. But like, all right, what is it about this person that you're attracted to? And like, what do you need to do to find more people like this so you can find the one that fits you more likely? What do you need to do to create that? Because you can make this happen. So I hope I'm saying it right. Because I'm getting, you can have a really great ending. You got the star, you got the sun, the King of Wands, and you got the star and trust over here. And I keep seeing that the star and trust, like the sun and the star, the sun is technically a star, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like you can bring what you want, what you wish to happen, you can bring into your own life. It's just using your intellect to decide what needs to be done to get you where you want to be versus where you currently are. The last little piece I'm getting is I see people do this a lot, where they get hung up on a person or a situation very specifically, and they sometimes miss that, okay, that person or situation is not matching. It doesn't mean you can't have something similar to it. And sometimes holding on too tightly to something that doesn't want you cheats you out of getting what you actually can have and literally do want. So it's kind of like, be willing to let go so you can grab onto what really works. Does that make sense? Be willing to let go so you can grab onto what really works on your own terms, in the way that works for you, the way that suits you. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.